All right, guys, let's check out the Zodiac Super Seawolf World Time Automatic. This is obviously the silver with red variant. This is a ZO9410. I'll put a link in the description to Zodiac and this exact model. Big thanks to Jared over at Zodiac for hooking me up with this watch, and hopefully many more in the future, because I love the colorways they're doing, and I think they have an excellent platform here. The bracelet, the watch, the designs, everything just kind of clicks together and makes for a very comfortable, intriguing, easy to read, easy to use GMT watch, and I will explain that in a moment. Thankfully, they included this thing here, and it totally simplified using a GMT in this way for me, and I think you'll like it too. So case size, I'm going to give you 40 millimeter, but that's at the bezel. The watch case is only 39. It's 40 at the bezel, 48 lug to lug. You can see fully brushed side and turned down lugs, polished reliefs on those. And thickness 13.5 mil. You can see a slightly boxed and double domed sapphire crystal with AR coating. 20 millimeter lug width. Bracelet tapers down perfect to a 16 mil, actually a touch under 16. And then you have this milled out clasp, but they're called a lobster clasp. See how it's like skeletonized here where the keeper, the fold over keeper holds it. So still have some plastic on there. So this guy just snaps into place and then that goes over. I really like that. It's smooth, it's sleek. I do have one downfall to it. You basically are going to want some sort of fingernail to get underneath that. I'm keeping mine a little bit shorter for you guys, but that pops open, and then the same thing here. Like you're going to have this sharp edge here catch the meat of your finger, and then it'll pop right open. It's not going to cut you or anything like that, but it's not necessarily a pleasant thing to do. So you have 4 micro adjust there on the clasps, not on the fly. And then the links here, I noticed that one has a screw pin. Oh, it's screwed on both sides. So that's like the first one. But when I sized it, it's actually a pin and collar system. Pretty easy to do. I didn't have any trouble doing it at all. I used my handy dandy Bob Labs one for that. I like to have a little more purchase on it, and it worked out fine. I don't have any problem with that. You have a full polished, or mostly polished, case back here with some information and some smudging. Swiss made, the model number 200 meter water resist, all that good stuff. I believe this is number 250. I think it's serial number 250. I'm not sure if all of these Zodiacs are limited edition. This one doesn't say it on the back, or most often it does. So, but this one's definitely serial numbered. Screw down crown, just over 6 millimeter on that, and sized up for my 7¼ inch wrist. It weighs in at 140 gram, which works out pretty good. The last one I had on here had polished center links. I like that in certain colorways, but I think I overall prefer the full brushed, and I like that the links here actually have a little more detail on them. It's not a separate piece, so it keeps it nice and solid, but it just has a nice little detail and flows really good with the watch. Retail price on this, $1,795. There are a bunch of different authorized dealers for these. You may or may not be able to find discounts. No guarantee on that. You can see the small center link going into the solid end link is actually articulated. It's not going to get you all the way around, but it's going to get you really close. You also have quick release spring bars on this guy. It makes it easy to swap those out, because this size watch, this lug width, you're going to want to try other straps, whether it be a NATO or leather or fabric or whatever you want to do. It is going to work really good on other straps. I did pop the case back off because on their website, it just says automatic movement. I don't know which one is it, you know? Zodiac is owned by Fossil Group. STP is owned by Fossil Group. I would assume it had an STP. I would have assumed wrong. The previous Zodiac Super Seawolf I had on the channel actually had an ETA movement in it. This one, I didn't find the actual stamping on it, but its architecture, and with the help of my Discord members, they helped me decipher. I'm pretty sure this is a Soprod A10 movement in it. I can't 100% confirm that, but 25 jewel GMT style, time and date. So in the structure that I looked at, pretty sure it's an A10 from Soprod, and it does have a plastic retaining ring on there. At the tail end of the video, I'll just drop in a picture of it, and you guys can help me figure it out maybe. So, but that plastic in there is secured really good. They have really nice retention tabs on it, and it'll probably help with some sort of impact resistance. So, and it's a solid case pack. Don't freak out. If I would have never told you that, you would have never known I had that. So don't freak out about that stuff, guys. I think too many people worry about that stuff. All right. Now, let me do the wrist shot real quick, and then I want to talk about how to set this thing, because that's one thing I absolutely love about this watch. So you can see on my 7¼ inch wrist, the weight, the size, the feel, the look is just like so good. I love that taper on the bracelet. It is so comfortable, guys. And the legibility is pretty good on this, even though you do have brushed hands and silver background on this. I still don't have a problem reading it. Love the cursive font that's on this. If we zoom in and take a look at the dial, you'll get a good look at that. You have that beautiful silver dial. Love that World Time Automatic font, the Super Seawolf font, the brushed hands, the Zodiac emblem. The overall look of this watch is just very fun and cool. And they have a ton of really fun colors. This is probably one of the, other than the red, it definitely lands more on the less interesting colorway for sure. But it's really grown on me, because typically, you know, you don't see a lot of red on watches when it comes to bezels or dials when it's this bold, and I think this one pulls it off really good. Usually it's more colors to minimize the red. So all of the city names around on the bezel. This is where it gets fun. Let me break this down. I'm going to show you this first, because their instructions actually helped me do this. So you can pause this, read this, do whatever you want to do. But essentially all right guys, I think I have it figured out according to their instructions, but let's try this again. So what this outer bezel does is it helps you quickly figure out plus or minus. You don't have to actually figure it out. It's done for you on this watch using this method. So for example, I'm on New York time where I'm at, but if I'm traveling to say Los Angeles and I land in LA at say like 2 p.m. So if I go ahead and unscrew the crown, and I'm going to go ahead and set this to 2 p.m. Well, you've seen the date change, so we'll call it 2 a.m. I guess, instead of 2 p.m. because we got the date change. Let's keep it real, right? So 2 a.m. in LA. Okay, so now I take the bezel and I'm going to take LA. Let's see, where is Los Angeles? Right there. Actually, LA is already on 2. So LA, you would move your bezel to line up Los Angeles with 2 a.m., okay? And then all you do is you adjust your GMT hand, your 24-hour hand, to point towards New York. So I'm going to keep my, oops, that's the date. I'm going to keep my, there we go. We point that hand towards New York. So now I'm done. I mean, other than me screwing up the date. But now you can go ahead and screw your crown back in. And what you have is I'm in LA, it's 2 a.m. And then I'll instantly know that it is 5 a.m. in New York. So now it doesn't really matter where I move the bezel, but it helps you quickly set your zones. I mean, so you can just make up whatever city you want or whatever traveling you're doing, but you set your 12-hour, your hour and minute hand to where you are, and then you move your outer bezel to match the city to that black ring 24-hour, and then just rotate your 24-hour hand to point towards your city where you came from or what other time zone you want to track. It just makes it simple, so I don't have to think about how many hours plus or minus. It does it for you. That's essentially what these rings do with the cities. I never really understood that until now. Thank you, Zodiac, for having this quick instructions, but I guess it makes it a lot easier. Thanks for watching. Oh, I need to do the zoom or the loom shot. I did the zoom shot. That was the zoom. Let's do the loom. There's the loom. You can see hour, minute, second is plenty loomed, a little bit lighter loom on the GMT hand, and then of course lighter loom on the outer perimeter there on the indexes. So still plenty legible, but it's not like a dive watch or anything. All right, guys, thanks for watching.